What's up, everyone out there in YouTube land? It's me, Perry Lovewhistle, and I'm on Acadian in Project Quarm, and as you can see, I'm back in the sunny Everfrost Peaks. The event zone is over, which means that the classic dungeons are packed with people again, and because of that, I managed to get all the way down to Lower Guck and grab this a rod, and you'll find out soon that there are 10 of these spread across Norath. I'll explain that in a little bit, but the one in Lower Guck is by far the hardest to get. So getting this one means that I can do the quest, grab the other 9, and get a little bit of an upgrade. But also the quest involved is specifically a wizard quest. It's useful for anybody for a couple of reasons that I'll explain also in a little bit. But it is the Tarton's Wheel quest. While practically coming to the beginning of the quest to start it isn't the best plan, since I am a wizard, it costs me very little time to port all around and do this quest in its prescribed order, which starts with me going to Everfrost Peaks and heading up to the north wall, just inside the main part, to Solgar. Now I will point out, if I had done the Tishan's Kilt quest, that would have led me here. While Tishan's Kilt starts in the Temple of Solusek Row, it has you come here to do a turn-in with Trankia, at which point you'll be right next to Solgar here, which gives you the obvious transition. Otherwise, it's without wikis, it would be hard to imagine any other reason for a wizard just to be hanging around up here looking for a quest. I did not do Tishan's Kilt, so I'm going straight to Solgar's quest. When you hail him, he talks about the Wheel of Tarton, and if I assist him finding it, he will give me the runes to create a powerful spell. When you ask about the runes, he names the runes that he will give you, which talks about how they can be combined to provide a powerful spell. This spell is Ice Comet. It is the strongest wizard spell in the classic game. There is no way that I would succeed at the combine for them. This is a research combine, or be able to use the spell right now anyway. It's a level 49 spell, but he says that he would give them to you in exchange for the Staff of the Wheel and the Star of Eyes. And earlier he was talking about the Wheel of Tarton. And if you say, what Wheel of Tarton, he gives you a book, which isn't quite programmed right on Project Quarm. I'm going to leave a link down below. Another EverQuest YouTuber, Minnie Fluff Meowsington, did a full guide on this on Project 1999. So this is several pages. The Tome of the Wheel is several pages, and it starts with a nice little song about the Staff of the Wheel, Tarton's staff, and then it provides little clues in rhyme form to where all 10 of them are. And it is supposed to open up like a book. This opened up like a scroll, so it cuts off right at the first one. Asia, crossing of the waters, rests the ship, blah, blah, blah. It would be fun to decode all of these, but Minnie Fluff Meowsington already did that in a big series where he hunted all of them individually using only the riddles in the Tome of the Wheel. What I'm going to do is ask for the case. When you ask him for the case, you get a glowing chest, which, by the way, is no rent. I'm not going to put anything in it yet, because if the game crashes and I lose the contents of this, that would be devastating. But if I had the Tome of the Wheel, it would be telling me to go to Irud's Crossing. So I'm going to head there first. While I wait for the boat to my first rod, now is a good time to talk about the lore of this. So if you pull up the wiki, you can actually see all of the Tome of the Wheel couplets. And it talks about how Tarton, presumably a wizard, built a wheel with 10 stokes bound by a star, and how he had taken this wheel to the plains. He lost Clash in the sky, so my guess is something happened to this wheel, this 10-spoke wheel in the plane of sky, and all of the pieces fell to Earth. So I am picking up the pieces of Tarton's wheel that had fallen from the plane of sky onto Norath. It gives me a little riddle for each one, and they are named in alphabetical order with this EverQuest rune alphabet, which you run into if you do training research the way the game intends, where you get training runes, Asia and Beza, etc. I didn't do that, and I don't recommend anyone do that because that is a huge pain. The first one is Asia. So it says that it's an Irud crossing. In the waters, there is a ship resting on its side, and drowned sailors swim around it. So I'll be heading to the Shipwreck in Irud's Crossing to find the first piece of this quest. Also, I will be making use of my fishbone earring pretty extensively. Most of these rods, for some reason, are either underwater or you have to swim through water to get them. So if you don't have a fishbone earring, it might be a good idea to make friends with a druid to help you out with this quest. They're also often near aggressive mobs, so invis is also important. But the first one is off of the west coast beyond that sunken ship, which is also apparently full of undead that should be green to me, but apparently there's also a killer shark that is nearby, so I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that. Okay, so apparently it's past the ship just before the drop-off? Oh, just after the ledge. So real deep. There it is. And that gets me Spoke of Tarton's Wheel, Asia. Now off to Everfrost Peaks for the second one. Beza is back in Everfrost Peaks. So if you head towards the river directly from Megan O'Reilly's tower, you can see that one of the breaks in the ice is right here. And if you don't have the fishbone earring here, apparently pressing up against the ice while you swim allows you to breathe a little bit. Oh, past these ice goblin divers and up into this nice dark cave. That's better. And invisibility shouldn't be an issue in here because the only things that I have to worry about are undead. There are a lot of icebone skeletons that spawn in here, and also the Lich of Miragul, who is part of the Paladin Epic quest, and definitely not somebody that I am trying to mess with. But he should path around, so it should be easy for me to dodge him. Assuming that I don't completely get lost in here. Okay, I know where I am. This is, by the way, one of the teleporters for Miragul's Highway, allegedly, according to the lore. But I don't think that they actually ever found out where that one was supposed to teleport to. Or if it's just a reference to Miragul's Highway, because Miragul is in here. Okay, I'm not seeing him over there. And all the way in the back, we've got this hut that is reminiscent of the huts in Iridan, which has some icebone skeletons inside of it, who shouldn't attack me because they're too green. Well, never mind. And I'm going to take the quick way out. And that gets me Spoke of Tarton's Wheel, Quesa. The third one, Quesa, is, I think, going to be a little bit of an issue for me. I know it's in Lake Wraith. I haven't watched Meowsington's video for it. The couplet in the book just says that there's a stone tower underwater. And the wiki says, underwater on the top floor of the stone tower in the hidden cave underneath the first island out from Wraith Mountain's island number 15 on the map. So I don't know which one of those is more confusing, but either way, I'm going to keep my invis up and my fishbone earring on and see what we can find. Well, as long as I'm in Lake Wraith, I've got to take advantage of one of the 7 wonders of classic EverQuest, the Lake Wraith tier high dive. Okay, so here is the entrance to the cave. It's on the east side of Island 15. Okay, so aqua goblins in here. Deep water goblins who see invis. Here's the stone tower with said deep water goblins. So there are deep water goblins up on the top. Okay, here we go. Who don't see invis. There's my rod. We're gonna go for it. Grab my rod. Swim over to the wall. All right. Spoke of Tarton's Wheel, Quesa. Now let's get back to the Feydark for the next one. Dena is in Dagnor's Cauldron, apparently straight out from both Unrest and Kedge Keep. I think that there are still deep water goblins here. Ah! As I recall, I found this much easier than Meowsington did. Ah. There's a snake down here. There's a snake in the water hole. Which gets me my Spoke of Tarton's Wheel, Dena. And as previously stated, I wouldn't even be doing this if I didn't already have Spoke of Tarton's Wheel, Ina, from Lower Guck. Which means I am headed now to the Oasis of Mar. Fena is in the Oasis of Mar. Again under the water. There should be another tower, also guarded by deepwater goblins, just like the one in Lake Wraith. It does look like they are camped, which is good. And here is my rod. Spoke of Tarton's Wheel, Fena. The next one is in High Pass Hold, which is a good time to point out that now that Legacy is over, Kithakor is scary at night. So, no longer a place to hang out and kill ghouls in your teens and 20s like I did. The next one is under the waterfall by the Tiger's Roar in High Pass Hold. This one even has a pretty obvious riddle, so I don't know why. Of course, I can't call it obvious and then still struggle to find the rod. This was supposed to be the easiest of all of them. There it is. It's right next to the tiger's roar, right outside the windows. Spoke of Tarton's wheel, Quesa. The next one is down in the Kanos aqueducts, and apparently there is a quick way directly to it just by dropping in through the Rogues Guild. But for some reason I feel like at my level, going the long way is actually going to be much safer. Plus, it's a part that I've never actually been through before. So let's see here. Okay, here is the big square pool. And then this should be a fake wall. Yep. Now I am going to go ahead and invis up. Beggar Wylan drops a rat pelt cape. These are supposed to be... This is supposed to be the higher level area down here. I'm supposed to be coming across some smugglers. Oh, here they are. See if any of the rare smugglers are up. Nope, smuggler. Neeb and Omorb, which are both very low level compared to me. The shark. Couple of sharks. And there is my rod. Spoke of Tarton's wheel, Hida. Now my next one requires me to go into the Dark Elf city of Neriak. And by the way, the guards are not KOS to me anyway. And on top of that, not only do I have invisibility, but I have my Guise of the Deceiver, which makes me a Dark Elf, and is more consistent than my invisibility anyway. But even so, there is a secret passage through Neriak that might be useful for this quest if you don't have the amazing ability to normalize your faction like I do. I am still going to put on my invisibility and my Dark Elf illusion just because it seems like it would be foolish not to. So first, in Neriak Commons, take a right turn and head up into the Ogre and Troll area. And I'm pretty sure nobody here can see invis. But up this hill, across from pig stickers, is a building with a secret entrance to an underground cave, which should take you directly into Neriak Commons. And give me a second to redo my illusion and invisibility. Now, if I recall correctly, there is an NPC in here who is like level 12 or something and is part of a Dark Elf quest. As you can see, we can see down to the gate in Nariak Commons. And I'm not sure, but I think that this cave goes all the way back. I don't need it. I can get off right here and swim to my goal. But I may explore this a little bit more on another character. As you can see, it puts you right here next to the Priest of Discord. And if you jump into the water here instead of crossing the bridge, here are the windows where you can see into the blind fish. And there is my rod. Spoke of Tarton's wheel, Isa. Now I've got just one more, and it's back to Feydark. The very last one is in the Estate of Unrest. And while the riddle makes it obvious that it is in Unrest, it is the, in my opinion, probably most confusing one as far as where the rod actually is. All we have to go on is a sunken dwarven crest. Somehow that is supposed to lead you over here. Now, granted, we know that it's all water related, and this is the only place where there's water in Unrest. And if you go under this water, there's a little cave. Pop up from this cave on another side, and there's some quest NPCs. A gnomish spelunker and a herald of mischief, which is invisible. Not exactly sure what they are for, but opposite them is this other little cave with the spoke of Tarton's wheel, Jaka. And if you take all of them and put them into the glowing chest, hit combine, you get 2 items. The Staff of the Wheel, which 10 intelligence, 10 mana, that makes it better than my glowing black stone, aside from that 10 magic resist. So it's going in the bank until I start raiding. But also this Star of Eyes, which is a instant cast identify. It can be cast from inventory. So this is the reason why a non-wizard might do this quest. The Star of Eyes can be used as a global cooldown reset, or it can be used just as something to cast Identify with if you are playing a class that doesn't get the Identify spell or an Identify song. Not to mention that the staff kind of looks cool too. It's my first staff that actually has an interesting model. It's, as you can see, it's got this clear end. But that is it for Tarton's Staff of the Wheel. For now. Once I get to level 45, I go and turn the staff and the Star of Eyes in for an opportunity to try to get Ice Comet. So until then, bye.